Hey everyone, I'm Lindsay from Dimensional Insight. In today's video, we're going to be discussing one of the most powerful features in KPI and business rule management, Measure Factory. So you may be wondering, what exactly is Measure Factory? Well, here to give you the full scoop on the secret weapon in analytics is Alyssa Mintz from our education department. Alyssa, over to you.
In this demonstration, we'll introduce you to Measure Factory and two of its most important components, rules and measures. Measure Factory acts as a central repository for the business rules of your organization. In addition, it lets you apply those business rules to your data to produce key performance indicators in Diveport dashboards and enhanced data sets that you can examine in ProDiver. For example, let's say you're a hospital administrator and you have a database that tracks many things, including the number of visits to the emergency department. You could use Measure Factory to calculate the number of visits for one year compared with another, for display as a key performance indicator on a Diveport page. So that's the overall goal of Measure Factory, to produce key performance indicators that help management make better informed business decisions. Now let's look at the two major components that allow Measure Factory to do its work, rules and measures. We'll start with rules. From a business management perspective, a business rule is simply a statement that defines or constrains a business activity. For example, in our hospital administration scenario, we might have a business rule that says, an emergency department visit is a visit during which a patient is attended to by an emergency department physician. In the world of Measure Factory, however, where we deal with data and data sets, what does rule really mean? We need to tweak the definition a little bit for this new context. In Measure Factory, a rule is a fact about a business event or asset. It quite simply could be a value in a database. For example, let's say you've recorded information about a patient's weight and height. Bob's weight, the value 165, is a rule. Bob's height, the value 70, is also a rule. These rules are called source rules. A rule can also be a fact that you derive by performing a calculation with one or more existing rules. So if we calculate Bob's body mass index by dividing his weight by his height squared and then multiplying by a conversion factor of 703, the resulting number, 23.7, is also a rule. This type of rule is called a calc rule. And finally, terms and definitions found in external files and brought into Measure Factory can also be rules. The body mass index chart for men, for example, classifies each BMI measurement in one of four categories: underweight, normal, overweight, and obese. If we look up Bob's BMI on the chart, find that his weight is considered normal, and then retrieve the term normal for inclusion in our records, that term normal is also considered a rule. This type of rule is called a lookup rule. In addition to source rules, calc rules, and lookup rules, Measure Factory includes the following rule types. Flag rules. Flag rules are rules that retrieve information from a text file called a flag table. A flag rule allows you to identify a particular value as belonging to a subset of values. For example, we could have used a flag table and flag rule to flag, with the letter Y for yes, every patient entry that, like Bob's, has the status normal. Link rules. Link rules are rules that retrieve information from another dataset. For example, you might have a dataset that includes information on the charges each patient incurred during their hospital visits, but no other data. If you wanted to see information on the hospital charges Bob incurred, alongside his BMI data, you could use a link rule to add that information to the dataset. Plugin rules. Plugin rules allow you to use another Diver platform component, Integrator, to perform more complex operations than are possible with the other rule types. For example, plug-in rules can be used to determine whether the data you're looking at is readmission data, a situation where you need to look at historical data, not just the day's transactions. So rules are individual facts, individual pieces of data in a database. Let's turn to measures now. A measure is a summary or aggregation of rules and is associated with a particular period of time. Consider this data showing the number of ED visits from a particular start date through to the present. If we wanted to calculate the total number of ED visits for 1 month of the year, we would use a measure. And when you use a measure to evaluate data from different time periods, you can place the results for the different time periods side by side on a dashboard so you can see how the data has changed from one period to another. So a measure is a summary, an average, a ratio of something associated with a particular time period. A measure could answer questions like, how many patients do we have today? How many patients did we have yesterday? How many patients did we have for the month, or for the year, or for the previous year? That's what a measure could tell us. So those are rules and measures. A rule is a fact about a business event or asset. There are 6 types of rules: source rules, calc rules, lookup rules, flag rules, link rules, and plugin rules. A measure is a way of summarizing or aggregating rules for a given set of records in a database over a period of time.
Well, that's a wrap on our exploration of Measure Factory. If you found this video helpful, remember to give us a like and hit subscribe. That way, all of our latest videos will always be on your radar. And we'd really love to hear from you. Drop your thoughts or questions in the comments section below. See you next time.